Hi, everyone, and welcome to my video on the new immigration changes in the UK in 2023. In this video, we'll be talking about what the changes are, how they'll likely impact people, and what they mean for students, immigrants, and people from EU and non-EU countries who are planning to reside in the UK. So, what were the old immigration rules? Before the changes, the UK had a points-based immigration system. This meant that people who wanted to come to the UK to work or study had to score enough points in a number of categories, such as their skills, education, and English language proficiency. The points-based system was introduced in 2008, and it was designed to make it easier for skilled workers to come to the UK while making it more difficult for low-skilled workers. The system was also designed to be more transparent and predictable than the previous system. What are the new immigration rules? The new immigration rules were introduced in January 2023, and they are a lot simpler than the old ones. There are now just two categories of visas: skilled worker visas and student visas. To get a skilled worker visa, you'll need to have a job offer from a UK employer that's on the government's list of approved sponsors. You'll also need to have a salary that meets the minimum requirements for your occupation. To get a student visa, you'll need to be accepted into a UK university or college. You'll also need to have enough money to support yourself while you're studying in the UK. How will the changes impact people? The new immigration rules are likely to have a significant impact on people who want to come to the UK to work or study. The rules are now simpler, which could make it easier for people to come to the UK. However, the minimum salary requirements for skilled worker visas have also been increased, which could make it more difficult for some people to qualify for a visa. What do the changes mean for students, immigrants, and people from EU and non-EU countries? The new immigration rules are likely to have a mixed impact on students, immigrants, and people from EU and non-EU countries. For students, the new rules could make it easier to come to the UK to study. However, the minimum salary requirements for skilled worker visas could make it more difficult for some immigrants to come to the UK to work. EU citizens. The new immigration rules also have implications for EU citizens. Before Brexit, EU citizens were able to live and work in the UK without any restrictions. However, since Brexit, EU citizens are now treated the same as non-EU citizens when it comes to immigration. This means that EU citizens will need to apply for a visa if they want to come to the UK to work or study. The minimum salary requirement for skilled worker visas is £25,600 per year. Students who are sponsored by a UK university or college will be able to work up to 20 hours per week during term time, and full-time during the holidays. EU citizens who are already living in the UK will be able to apply to the EU settlement scheme to stay in the UK after Brexit. Examples. Let's take a look at some examples of how the new immigration rules might impact people. A software engineer from India who wants to come to the UK to work. The new rules could make it easier for this person to come to the UK, as they would only need to find a job offer with a salary of at least £25,600 per year. However, this is still a relatively high salary, and it may be difficult for some software engineers to find a job offer that meets this requirement. Additionally, the new rules also require that the job offer be from a UK employer that is on the government's list of approved sponsors. This means that the software engineer will need to do some research to find an eligible employer. If the software engineer is able to find a job offer that meets all of the requirements, they will then need to apply for a skilled worker visa. The application process can be complex, and it is important to make sure that all of the required documentation is submitted correctly. The visa application fee is also relatively high, at £1,500. If the software engineer is successful in their visa application, they will be able to live and work in the UK for up to 5 years. After 5 years, they may be able to apply for permanent residency. A student from France who wants to come to the UK to study. The new rules could make it easier for this person to come to the UK, as they would only need to be accepted into a UK university or college. However, they will still need to have enough money to support themselves while they are studying in the UK. The cost of living in the UK can be high, so it is important to factor this into the decision to study in the UK. If the student is accepted into a UK university or college, they will then need to apply for a student visa. The application process is relatively straightforward, and the visa application fee is £348. If the student is successful in their visa application, they will be able to live and work in the UK for up to 5 years. After 5 years, they may be able to apply for permanent residency. In addition to the examples above, the new immigration rules could also have an impact on other groups of people, such as nurses and other healthcare workers, entrepreneurs, family members of UK citizens. The new rules are still relatively new, so it is not yet clear how they will ultimately impact people. However, it is important to be aware of the changes and to plan accordingly if you are considering coming to the UK to work or study. For better understanding, here are the key changes to the UK immigration laws in 2023, with real-life impacts, from a layman's point of view. The number of visa categories has been reduced from 50 to just 2, skilled worker visas and student visas. This makes the system simpler and easier to understand. The minimum salary requirement for skilled worker visas has been increased to £25,600 per year. This means that it will be more difficult for some people to qualify for a visa. The government has introduced a new points-based system for skilled worker visas. This means that applicants will need to score enough points in a number of categories, such as their skills, education, and English language proficiency. The government has also introduced a new salary threshold for student visas. This means that students will need to have enough money to support themselves while they are studying in the UK. These changes are likely to have a mixed impact on people who want to come to the UK to work or study. For some people, the changes may make it more difficult to come to the UK. However, for others, the changes may make it easier to come to the UK. Like we already mentioned, in 2023, the UK made significant changes to its immigration laws, affecting how people from other countries can live, work, and study in the UK. These changes were implemented to address various concerns, such as managing immigration numbers, meeting the country's economic needs, and ensuring a fair and transparent system for everyone involved. Points-based system. One of the major changes introduced in 2023 is the points-based immigration system. This system evaluates individuals based on specific criteria, earning points for various factors like job skills, qualifications, English language proficiency, and salary level. The higher the points, the better your chances of obtaining a visa to work, study, or reside in the UK. Real-life impact. This new system makes it more straightforward for employers to hire skilled workers from around the world who possess the necessary expertise. For students, it provides clearer pathways to study in the UK and potentially stay for work after graduation. Graduate route visa. The introduction of the graduate route visa is another important change. It allows international students who completed a degree in the UK to stay and work in the country for up to 2 years, without requiring a job offer. Real-life impact. This change benefits international students who wish to gain work experience in the UK after graduation. It not only enhances their skills but also enables them to contribute to the UK's economy. Work visa changes. Work visas have undergone significant modifications. The skilled worker visa is now the primary route for skilled workers from outside the UK. It grants the opportunity to work in the UK for eligible job roles with sponsorship from an employer. Real-life impact. This change has both positive and challenging implications. On the one hand, it opens doors for skilled workers to pursue job opportunities in the UK. On the other hand, employers must navigate the sponsorship process, which can be complex. Family and spouse visas. The requirements for family and spouse visas have been updated. There's now a more streamlined and simplified process for family members and partners to join their loved ones in the UK. Real-life impact. Families and partners face fewer hurdles in reuniting in the UK, fostering a more welcoming environment for those seeking to live together. In conclusion, the new immigration rules in the UK are a lot simpler than the old ones. However, the minimum salary requirements for skilled worker visas have also been increased, which could make it more difficult for some people to qualify for a visa. The new rules are likely to have a mixed impact on students, immigrants, and people from EU and non-EU countries. Thanks for watching this video on the new immigration changes in the UK in 2023. I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.